I obviously had quite a lot to say and write about the fact that I think Rangers are very deliberately and calculated. They're making this calculated sort of a move, shift away from traditions, and I think it's a little bit disrespectful to the supporters. Look, Danny Rohl, where's a tracksuit? Where's a bin bag? Where's a club suit and tie? It's not really going to make a big difference. But you know what? I think it's quite clever, and where I think he's shown a little bit more nous than Thelwell and Patrick Stewart. But I think it's a nod to the supporters. I think he's shown respect to the position, respect to the club. And, you know, whether or not it makes any material difference, it won't make any material difference to how his side performs on the pitch. But I think just in terms of a shrewd little nod and a good bit of PR, I think, yeah, I actually think it's quite a good move by him. I think it's quite smart. In much the same way that I thought Russell Martin was showing the position a bit of disrespect, and you know, refusing and making a point of it. So I think he's been quite clever there, and that's a good sign. Now, whether or not he's clever enough to work out how to make a team out of the squad that he's been left, that's another thing entirely. But I think that's not a bad indication that he's a guy that is aware of the size of the thing. He is aware of the traditions of the club, and he's aware that that'll probably play quite nicely to the galleries in terms of the Rangers support. So good luck to him. That's actually not the worst start in the world. And I say all that because I'm praising him, because I think he's doing that probably off his own bat. But I think on the Rangers official website today, there was actually a picture, a photograph of his brown brogues. So as much as I'm giving him credit for doing that and being quite clever, what is that? What are they doing? What are they doing? Brown brogues, men's team, first team head coach. It's a shambles. But they're actually crying out for a bit of leadership and someone that they can fall in behind. Now, I think it's a long shot because of his lack of experience and his lack of years. But if Danny Rohl could be that guy, he could actually get Rangers out of a right difficult situation and start taking a lot of heat off people. But this is the bit where all we can do is just conjecture. We won't know until whatever time it is, back at 5 tomorrow night, when you see what it looks like on the pitch, what sort of performance Rangers put in, and ultimately what sort of result they come away with. As I said, I think it's close to being a free hit for him. What he doesn't want is a sore one, an embarrassment, because, you know, effectively the hammering that Rangers got over 2 legs against Bruges. You know, Russell Martin, I'd called it before that. I think I went away, I was away holiday or whatever. But he was already on the Green Mile, wasn't he? He was already walking the Green Mile before that. That just confirmed the thing, and then it was just, everybody just wasted everybody else's time from that moment on, because there was just never going to be any way back. I'm not saying that that's the case, obviously, for Danny Rohl in his first game, but just make it look a bit better, make it look a bit more organised, structured, make it look faster, more intense, and make it look as if you've got a chance of scoring a goal for open play. And I think whatever the result is, as long as it's not a scalping, I think he'll you know, the Rangers fans will get right behind him, and, you know, welcome him back then into the domestic situation at the weekend. If they get a real hard time of it and it doesn't look any better and it's not any more structured, he still might get away with it, in terms of the Rangers fans will look at it and say, well, the guy's only just in the door, and quite rightly so. But he'll need to hit the ground, if not running tomorrow night, then certainly over the course of the next week to 10 days, he'll need to show signs that whatever it is that he sees that makes him a different sort of a coach or strategist than Russell Martin, you'll need to see signs of it. He needs to give people something.
Yeah.
In terms of what I think, and again, I'm crossing my fingers for Celtic and saying 2-0. I'm going to cross my fingers for Rangers and say I think he can get out of there with a 1-1 draw, and that wouldn't be the worst result in the world tomorrow night.
That'd be decent, I think,
Even though Rangers are actually really more in need of 3 points. I think if he could start off by taking a point on the road in the Europa League, it would constitute a decent introduction.
Some of the comments that are coming in from Rangers fans, John points out, how many goals will the Brogues and Soot score? None. Rebel says it's always good to look smart. Harry Duncan says, don't care if he has the stiletto heels on, as long as we win. That would be a bold outfit choice. Sniper, though, says it's not about tomorrow night, it's about Sunday. Obviously, they play Kilmarnock at home on Sunday in Roll's first league game.
I think that's right.
Aye, he says he can wear a pair of pants if he wants, just as long as it improves the team.
I hope he is wearing a pair of pants.
That would be good.
Otherwise, he might ruin that nice suit.
But I mean, you said it's right there about the Sniper's comments about Sunday. I think the league at this moment takes priority, doesn't it?
Yeah. You just look. The damage. It's not disastrous, the damage that's been done to this Europa League campaign, but it doesn't get much worse than losing your first two. It can't get much worse than that. But there is still time for a bit of a repair job to get done. But I don't think, Rangers fans will realistically be looking at Danny Rohl saying, right, well, you have to win 3 points on Thursday night, and then, you need to find a way to get... I think they fully appreciate... They're not daft. They're fully appreciative of the fact that the squad has been made worse. It's been downgraded in just almost every area of the pitch since the summer. That Russell Martin was a catastrophe, and that Danny Rohl's been thrown in here to try and pick up the pieces. They'll be appreciative, and they will recognise the fact that he's on the start of his coaching career in terms of being the main man, the front guy, and not an assistant to somebody. He's had one crack at it at Sheffield Wednesday. These are all the reasons that I would say, they don't make him qualified to be in contention for the job, but he's got the job, and that's not his fault. And I think the Rangers fans will kind of wish the guy some good luck in it.